Just thoughts on the Flames. We're kind of limping in here. You get in like you. We start doing shows start of September. It's like, all right, season's coming. Hey,
a month later,
we've got some preseason, a split squad, and okay, this isn't an NHL roster. Wolf played against Seattle the other night. Went the distance. Looked good. They win. He's why they win. Yeah. If he's a little bit better, and there are some candidates, and we've talked about it. I guess I'm just curious your thoughts on what to expect. A year ago, we had very little in the way of expectation, and they finished tied for the final playoff spot to get in on a tie break. There are some players offensively that are you can realistically, without squinting too hard, see a bit of a bounce back. Sharangovich, Frost, Farabee. There's some guys that could score more.
Yeah.
What's your vibe here with the Flames? I guess just kind of in a broad sense.
So my vibe is a lot of it stems on the goaltender, because if he has what I would call a market correction, that 96 points looks like 90, 88, type of thing. But still a good team, but going to be battling. Now, the quality of competition around, there are some teams that I think Calgary's just better than, either in the Pacific or just in the West, period. So they're fine that way. But I always look and go, okay, what did they have, 96 last year?
Yeah. Yep.
Can they get to 100, or is it look more like 91, 92?
So interestingly, the sports books are not, fans and in the market so close to it like we are. I think 83.5 is the over-under, and that's way off what they had last year. So the people that are unemotional about it have this as the market correction, is that the team isn't as good as they were points-wise last year. There might not be a bigger gap between last year's point total and projected points than the Flames this year. I find them a really hard team to peg.
Yeah, I still think they get points something with a 9 in it, but I think it's lower. I don't think they get to 98, 100. You need, but keep in mind, you talked about it, Boomer, where guys are maybe due for a bounce back. But are any of the guys who had good years last year maybe having a correction?
Yes, like Calgary, 35 or whatever.
Coleman, like guys like that. And then keep in mind, so that's one thing. That's one bucket. The other bucket is the elephant or elephants in the room. What are you doing with Andersson?
And when do you do it?
What are you doing with the Coleman, potentially all of that. And not that you have to trade them, but again, there might be people in play that Connie has to look at the bigger picture. Obviously the mandate, if it's from ownership or whatever, internally, they want to win and they want to make the playoffs and all of that fun stuff. And everybody starts at even keel. But you'll start to see 10, 20 games in, what does this team look like? Are they looking to add, or are they looking to continue to add, but maybe with the subtraction? If you move Andersson, then you're getting somebody younger and maybe, picking prospects, that type of stuff, on the fly. But is Andersson off the table? I know he's saying all the right things, but, is it something where if you guys had your way, if you had Craig Conroy's job, are you signing Rasmus if he wants to sign an 8-year extension?
We all would have traded him ahead of July 1, I think, is what we would have done. It feels like it's hung around.
I knew we'd get to the Flames eventually, but you watched Ottawa and Montreal last night.
Yeah.
No denying they're coming.
Yes.
No denying it.
None.
Nobody knows what the Flames are.
Well, outside the center, here's the thing that's why
you're not buying this. The high end. Okay, you're answering.
But also the reason that they're coming is because of the players that they have drafted high.
Yeah. They have high end skill. This team might be competitive, but it's not a team that you're gonna. One of the questions I was going to ask is, who do you get excited about? I think Parekh is and Wolf.
Yes.
And after that,
maybe Coronado or Zary, but it's not.
But even Coronado, even if he's a 30-goal guy, he's a guy that you really like on your team. Absolutely awesome. Not a come out of your seats.
You know what he would be? He would be core, but support staff core, not your main piece, right?
Not your best winger.
Right. So, you talk about Montreal Canadiens. Okay, Nick Suzuki took a step last year. We all believe, he's a fantastic player. But then, is it Caulfield that's riding shotgun? Is it Slavkovsky? This Demidov looks like a player. What they're doing is now there's layers to it. And, all of a sudden Newhook looks like he might be a player for them, settled in. Doc, I talked about. Like there's seven, and then there's the old guard. It's Gallagher, and you got Josh Anderson and guys like that kicking around there. So to me, it's these layers. In Calgary, the people I get excited about, it's in net, obviously, Dustin Wolf, and you got him locked up. That's a star. Parekh, I think, has a chance, but Parekh is 1 or 2 years away from knowing what we are, unless the guy just hits the ground and he has a lane type of season, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just is a good, settles in at the NHL level and gets 30 points this year, which would be a great season, but it takes him 2 or 3 years to arrive. So you're right. Like there's lots of good players, but we're building around this piece up front, because you do see, I always call it the spine of the team. You got the goalie, you might have the defenseman, we think, and then who's up front that you're building around. Ottawa and Montreal has that. Ottawa had to go get the goalie. They got Allmark. They've got Sanderson and Shabbat, and then they've got other pieces around him. And then up top, you've got Stützle, Tkachuk.
It's the list is long. There's all kinds of
into Cousins. Like you look at their center ice position. If they wanted to be healthy and if they wanted to show depth, they could go Stützle, 22 years old, into Dylan Cousins, 24 years old, into Shane Pinto, 24 years old, into Ridley Gregg, 22 years old. That's if they felt Gregg could be your fourth line center. He's not. He's a second line winger, if you ask me. So
and here we've got two guys over 35 on the top two, and Frost, who still remains like we're not quite sure what he is and what he's best at. They just need centers, and you can't find top centers.
Yeah,
it's
anywhere except the top of the draft.
I don't think it's a team that's been built.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, there's when Connie took over,
100%.
there was a mishmash of like we got old here, we got
they were trying to go for it on a misconceived notion that they were capable of going for it, so they tried to throw pieces at it.
And here's $10.5 million for a guy who had 115 points the year before. And, he's more of an 80-point guy on a good season, right? Like Huberdeau. Like you're not.
If he gets 70 60 points this year, awesome.
70. I'm trying to go.
Yes.
Trying to be optimistic, like But
your understanding of Huberdeau, I think, in Calgary, though, I think everyone goes, I understand why they did it. I never wanted him to, but it doesn't matter. We understand what he is. We understand he makes too much. We understand you can't move him. Please get us 65 to 75. And, that's fine. We know we're
$6 million winger, and we
can
live with it.
It is what it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's just,
I think
when the sports books got you at 83.5, and we're trying to sit here and say,
how do they get 97?
How do they get 96?
Yeah, 1 more points,
right? Like even if you're right and it's 90, is that again? It all goes back to what are we trying to do? And if you got to go, just hang up. But
what I'd like to say, like I think a lot of it is this is big decision year because I think Craig Conroy goes, okay, Rasmus Andersson, if we're going to get a king's ransom for him, hopefully. And I don't know if that's a young live roster player or if that's 2 high picks or combination. I don't know what the marketplace will be. That'll be set. And they've got a lot of time to sort that out. Does somebody take a flyer on Naz's contract and player? I know Nazem Kadri is a very good player, very coveted by a lot of teams because he's won now and he's predictable. You know what he can bring to the table. So there's another player that you probably have to make a decision on.
Coleman.
Sorry, who else?
No, it's Coleman. 2 years left. And it's like, look, we get it. You've been great. You love it here. Do you want to win a cup? Because if this team isn't good enough and Rasmus is gone, I think you have to have that chat, don't you?
Yeah, I think you look at all the veteran guys and you go, where do they fit? Like Michael Backlund, they know where he fits. Like leadership, they like him. He's not making a ton of money. Extend him, all of that. I think but I look at the other players. If you make that decision that you are going to get younger, you're going to try and load up on some assets and allow a pathway for some of the younger players to push through, then that's where, maybe the 83 to 85 is more realistic because you've moved. And again, unless the goalie wins the Vezina, and drags them in, that's the other thing.
But
too.
again, it becomes the issue, not the solution. You know what I mean? It's the problem, not the solution.
The path is picking them. They're not picking the path, right?
Right. But
Kipper.
What you're trying to do is, you've got some pieces, and you're still, they've got young guys coming. It's that high end talent. So the decision has to be made this year. And I think Connie, like the one thing I've always loved about Connie, he's capable and he thinks outside the box, and he's, not shy, to make moves. It's just a matter of he make the moves that he feels he needs to make, not what we feel in the media. Put it that way.
Okay, very quick. One word answer. Who's the backup? Is it Prosvetov or Cooley?
The Russian.
Thank you.
Yeah, I go with the Russian. He's bigger. I like Cooley as a goalie. I just I think you don't bring a guy from the K back unless you feel like you want to give him the inside edge. I don't, I think Cooley is played well. He's played well at the AHL level. He's got some NHL experience, but I lean more the bigger goalie, the bigger and the whatever his name is, Propsasov. What did I say?
Prosvetov is what we're hearing.
Pop the top.
Blobatob.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.